Hi, I'm Chuck, KK6USY. Welcome to Ham Radio Ventures. Today we're going to take a look at a product from Carpuride. Now they've been contacting me for almost a year now, and I've been trying to figure out a way to incorporate their product into one of my videos. And today I think I found something. As a lot of you know, I'm into motorcycle riding also, and I asked them for the product that they make for motorcycles. Now here's the product. This is a Carpuride W702. It's a 7-inch screen. And it's made for your motorcycle to go on the handlebars. I'll show you what's inside in just a few minutes, but what's really cool about this thing is basically a monitor for your phone. So a problem that a lot of people have had with putting their phones on the handlebars, you take a really expensive phone and it ruins the camera from the vibrations of off-road on a motorcycle. A lot of people are really reluctant to put that up on their handlebars and ruin a really good phone. So this is kind of like a monitor for your phone. Basically, it does Apple CarPlay and Android Play. It has a 7-inch touchscreen. I have to say the touchscreen is really, really good. That's kind of a little spoiler there, but when you're wearing gloves, I usually buy gloves that I like to wear and not so much something that you can use on your phone's touchscreen. And the gloves I use don't really work on my touchscreen on my phone very well. But they do work on this really, really good. Let's take a look at what's inside the box, and then we'll come back and talk some more about how this thing actually worked, because I contacted Carpuride and said I wanted a little more time and I wanted to take this thing on a little trip. So we did a 450-mile trip up the coast of California. Hey, make sure you stick around to let you know what went well and what didn't. Let's take a look at what's inside. All right, so here's the box. I'm not going to do an unboxing. I've got everything out of it already, but this is the box it comes in. People really get pumped up about boxes. It shows all the stuff here. It's waterproof, navigator. There's everything there. Shows it on the motorcycle and the main features. All right, also comes with, and we'll leave that there for now, this nice instruction booklet. Like, use the instruction booklet, probably have a lot less frustrations. So let me show you. I'm going to save the best part for last. Now it does come with this, which is like a RAM mount. It's their version, but it's made to hook to one of these. Also comes with this. So everything comes included. I'm not using this. I've got a different style that doesn't use bolts. I use a clamp. Much faster to change things out. And it comes with this little wrench here that not really sure. Oh, I guess that's for the part that bolts the handlebars. I would use my own wrench anyhow. Now this is a hardwire kit, and this is probably what I would do eventually. One thing I did find out, my buddy and I, when we were playing with trying to get things to work, we ran the battery down on my motorcycle. Now there's two ways around this. You could do this and wire it so it's hot, so you don't have to turn the key on so the lights aren't on. That was my problem. Or you can just run it off of a USB power that's powerful enough to run it, okay? So that worked pretty well. Now this is a USB, what they call it's like I think it actually gives it a little bit more power. This is the way I was using it. It worked fine on my bike. The connections, let me take these connections loose. Well, let me show you on this one. So it has these screw-on connectors. This has just a cap on it here. And it's got two prongs inside. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they screw in. They're watertight, and they're not going to come loose. So it's a great way to do that. Now here's the Carpuride itself, the 7-inch screen. Very nice screen. I'm telling you, this thing is really, really clear and very responsive. You'll notice that when I go through apps and stuff. But on the back here, this is the part that I really like. Right here, it has the ball mount already on it, and I think this is a very common bolt pattern for other things. That's really nice. It does have this nice little visor over the top, and if you get it set just right, that'll keep some of the glare off. Glare is a bad thing. If you wear a white t-shirt with a screen like this, you see nothing but white t-shirt. Believe me, I know from my Harley. Let me set this thing up, and I'll go through the screen with you and show you. I'm going to hook it to a USB setup and put it in a place where I can get a decent video of the actual screen. All right. Now I'd like to thank the good folks over at Carpuride for sending this to me to review for you guys, to let you know what I thought of it. And as always, they won't see my video before I post it. They don't tell me what to say. If they did, I wouldn't do the review, and all the opinions are my own. So let's just get that out of the way. I know some of you don't like reviews, but I put a lot of time into this, probably 3 or 4 days now. All right. As you saw, the parts in this thing are really high quality. The part that holds it, the mount and stuff, are all high quality. They're all made out of metal. It looks like this anodized. I actually use mine on the USB, and I'll probably show it, and somewhere in this video you'll see how I mount it on my bike. I like it because it went on and off with my switch, and if I did hardwire this, I would probably hardwire it into a switch anyhow. It does have a button on the side to turn it on and off, but I will warn you guys, when I was first setting this up with my buddy Mike, and I'll show that to you here, I ran my battery down on my bike. Now my bike probably has a stock battery, and it's probably 4 years old. Could have been partly that, but on a motorcycle, the headlight has to come on, and very few have an accessory port, and my little Honda doesn't have an accessory port. But use a power bank or something like that, because it's just USB, and get it set up that way, and then use it on the motorcycle. And make sure you stick around, because I just say my buddy was impressed on how this thing worked. All right. So the screen on this thing is super, super bright compared to what I was using in the past. Was like an Android type phone that's ruggedized, and actually I have an 8-inch tablet, but the screens on those things, I think they call it nits, N-I-T-S. I believe that's what it is. If I'm wrong, put it down on the thing. Be nice about it. And it's hard to get a screen that's really bright, and I will tell you that probably the footage that I'll put some footage up here of our ride. It probably doesn't look that right. It's in bright sunlight. I had never had a hard time seeing the screen, okay? Also, make sure you stick around to the end, and I'll tell you a few things that didn't work, but most of it was not any problems with the Carpuride. Let me show you how we hooked this up the first time, my buddy and I, and then I'll tell you how I actually ended up using it instead. So let's clip to that. And hey, it's a little confusing. It was confusing to us. Oh, by the way, make sure you. Okay. By the way, when you do set this up, actually read the book. I think it was somewhere in here. I'll tell you what pages. It's pretty clear, and it might help you not run your battery down like I did. But let me show you what we did, and then I'll tell you how I actually did run this on my trip. All right. Oh man, this looks terrible. If you see the BT trans is in blue right now, that's why it works, because this has to be in here. What we have right now is, okay, my phone is hooked Wi-Fi to the Carpuride. The Carpuride is connected Bluetooth to my PackTalk Bold. And then we got this BT trans. We don't want iPlay Auto, we want BT trans. You can see that Chuck is my, that is connected to my Carpuride, or to my PackTalk Bold. If that makes sense. I know the screen's hard to see because there's glare, but BT trans in blue. If that was confusing to you, it was confusing to me. My buddy and I were trying to get it straight. I ended up using the iPlay, not the Bluetooth, the BT part. It does come up on the screen and tell you how it's working. So if you have it hooked up one way, it will tell you which way you have it hooked up. That seemed to work the best with my Cardo. My Cardo is a Bluetooth. What I end up doing is Wi-Fi to the Carpuride and then Bluetoothing to my headset on my helmet. It worked really well, and once you have it set up, you can turn everything on and off, and it just seems to hook up. It automatically goes right back. Now, one thing you can't do, and this is, we have a DMD2 app that's really cool for off-road riding. Is what we really want to use. Is an Android-only app, and my Androids, I don't have phone service for those. And guess what? It doesn't work because the phone can't do enough things without service. All right, you can't, like, because I was going to tether off my phone, but unfortunately, that doesn't work on the apps right now on the Carpuride. Hopefully, that's something they will do later because it's a really good thing. It doesn't take much memory to do. I've got from Montana to California, all loaded in that little phone, and it took up hardly any memory. I'll have more on that one in a later video. One of the things that happened is after my buddy and I did this, he ended up ordering one of these. He went to my Amazon page and ordered one of these Carpurides for his bike, and he used it also. We both had the exact same things go wrong and right. Now, most of the things that went wrong, or pretty much everything that went wrong, was just phone service. We were in areas where we didn't have good phone service. The Carpuride would still show the routes, but it wouldn't update. And sometimes his phone worked better than mine, it's newer, and sometimes my phone worked better than his. We don't know why. That is the only bad thing. I do believe on Apple now you can, I think I saw something, you can download maps ahead of time, and that would take care of that problem. And that's what we do on the DMD2 app. Spoiler alert, this thing works really well, and I'm going to keep this on the bike. Like I said, when you set this thing up, make sure you read the book. It's pretty clear. There's two different ways to do it, and I watched a couple of videos and guys how they did it. They did it one way. This seemed to work the best with my PackTalk Bold. It worked really well. I was able to get all the instructions that were on the map audio into my helmet, which is kind of nice because you don't always want to take your eyes off the road, especially on a motorcycle. All right, I know we're sitting here in the dark, but I'm trying to get this screen, trying to give this screen the best look as I can give it. I'm going to turn on the power to it now. And I want you to notice that when I turn it on, there will be a warning thing about BT. We'll read it here. Okay, it says sound is played from the BT trans output. So it warns you, okay? So it's already connected to my phone, and I am using an iPhone. I'm going to go back to the home page, and we're going to go to brightness. I want you guys to see this. Now let me put this all the way down. There's all the way down. That's close to as bright as my other screens get. Now watch this thing. And you just turn this all the way up. Look how bright that screen is. Very important when you're out on a motorcycle in the daylight. All right. Now this button here changes the back display. If you can see the stuff in the back there, it changes. And I just kind of like this one because it's not as distracting. Now the sound here, you can go into there and you can change the sound for the media and the voice. All right. And then you have an equalizer and that's, I think, when you do music and maybe movies or something like that. And then on here you have your iPlay, Android Auto. This is the audio output. This is something you're going to go into. And if you, like right now I'm on BT Trans, but if you go into here like this and you say yes, then it goes to this setting here. This is page 11 and 12. You guys really need to read this if you're going to try and hook this up to your stuff. Not all your apps will come up on this. Your YouTube won't come up. I'm sure that's because they don't want you doing this, while you're driving and stuff like that. But you have your phone, your music, maps, messages, now playing, your calendar. And we'll just hit the calendar, and boom, there's nothing going on today for me. So back to it. This is the back button down here. And if you hit this button again, then it goes into a split screen. All right. Now we can go over here. Now what I'm interested in, here's your settings, your zoom. I would probably never use it for zoom, but what I'm interested in is the maps. So I have Onyx. And it's very responsive. All right, so go back. So it has Gaia, and there's Gaia, and you can plus or make it smaller. And then back out, it has Pandora. I don't even think I have Pandora on my phone, but it's on here. And then you have your Google Maps, same thing again. And then up here it shows your battery. It shows that I'm charged. My phone right now is charging. I've got 2 bars. So if I want to go to my maps, and let's do a favorite. It's a place where I get gas sometimes. It immediately goes to it.
Starting route to 14,842, 14,898 Tom Wells Road.
All right, so all that works really well. Let's end this route. We're going to start a new route. And let load. We should get audio inside. What I have is a extra microphone in the helmet next to the speaker.
Starting route to 14,842 14,898 Tom Wells Road.
As you can see here, the Carpuride is really a nice clear screen, plenty bright, and plenty big. It's actually a really good size screen, and I really like how it works, and I think you guys can see that here in the video.
All right, so this thing worked really, really well. The things I don't like about it, what don't I like about it? I can't really think of anything. Everything seemed to work good. The mounting bracket's really good. All the parts that came with this thing were high quality. The screen is beautiful. I did show you guys in the thing, and I did it in the dark so you guys could actually see how bright the screen really was. It's hard to really do a screen because usually you get reflections in the back. In fact, you probably saw reflections of me and my buddy in the outside videos. What I like about it, the touchscreen is awesome. The interface is awesome. Everything just seemed to work. I'm sure people will have some problems with it when you first get it, but once you get it figured out, it works really well. And like I said, I turned it on. Mine went on and off with the key every time I turned it on. A few seconds later, boom, I'm hooked up to my phone. It brought my maps back up. It remembered where we were going, just because that's all off the phone, really. It's just kind of a monitor for your phone that you can mount someplace where you can see it. So if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you like content like this. And I do a lot of ham radio. That's what my channel really is most of the time. Don't forget the bell, hit all that way you get all my future videos. Also hit that like. I'm Chuck, KK6USY for Ham Radio Adventures. Thank you for spending your time with me today. 73 all, and hope to catch you guys on the airwaves, and maybe we'll see you on a ride sometime when you're using your Carpuride. 73 all.